And can't you just feel it? Everyone, particularly the deadhead-like eclipse hunters called shadow chasers, is blowing their lids over this particular one taking place on Monday. We are all now part of a tradition that has governed humans since the dawn of man, looking upward to remember that we are at the mercy of a cosmic dance indifferent to our inner worlds. According to Reddit, the eclipse is a coming together of light and dark, symbolizing the unification of good and evil. Other online occult experts like the good folks at the Academy of the Pagan Path say that since solar eclipses can only occur during the day, on a new moon, it's a great time to take advantage of that unique blend of energy toward planting new seeds and ideas. Even NASA admits that, while it may not cause any evident physical effects in people, there's something here. The eclipse even has our no-nonsense nerds sounding like vague, prophetic philosophers. So, in celebration of our astrological insignificance, let's dive into a brief, abridged human history of the solar eclipse. May your reckoning be delicious. It's hard to choose from the countless, ageless, globally shared legends about solar eclipses. The most ancient records endure to this day, etched in stone. 5,000 years ago, Neolithic man built a circle of cairns in Loch Crew, Ireland. Despite lacking all the precise modern knowledge needed to predict an eclipse accurately, the ancient Irish created a monument that aligned with the solar eclipse of 3340. Eclipses were believed to be signals of turmoil, but political turmoil in particular. In ancient Chinese culture, the sun symbolized the emperor and the moon a dragon, so the solar eclipses was seen attacks on the ruler to be warded off. 2 court astronomers were beheaded for failing to anticipate them. The ancient Greeks viewed the uncanny event as a sign of certain doom. The poet Archilochus described the 647 eclipse as such. It could also work in reverse. Closer to home, eclipses have been tied to events of revolution. 2 reportedly occurred during the Revolutionary War, and were used to demonstrate a cultural shift away from the religious and mystical and toward the scientific. But beyond justifying American exceptionalism, solar eclipses are embedded in the African American struggle for liberty, too. In 1791, self-taught black astronomer Benjamin Banneker correctly calculated the eclipse date, contradicting most respected mathematicians. Banneker then sent Thomas Jefferson a mic drop of a letter, along with a copy of his meticulous work. Banneker wrote that he was recommending to you and all others, to wean yourselves from those narrow prejudices which you have imbibed with respect to my brethren. And most famously, as depicted in Nate Parker's The Birth of a Nation, enslaved African-American Nat Turner interpreted one eclipse he witnessed in February 1831 as a black man's hand reaching for the sun, a sign that he should launch a revolt. After a second eclipse in August, his plans came to fruition, and 70 freed slaves joined him in liberating plantations all over Virginia, a moment widely interpreted as a precursor to the Civil War. We suggest Trump and his neo-Nazi buddies take note. Stanley Kubrick's groundbreaking 2001, A Space Odyssey opens on the eclipse of star from space. The title card explodes across the scene, with Richard Strauss' famed trumpets sounding off a revolution in the entire filmmaking industry. Known as one of the most highly ranked Simpsons episodes ever, Marge vs. the Monorail opens on yet another example of the blue-haired matriarch sacrificing her own enjoyment and self-fulfillment for her family. She gives the ever-unprepared Homer her protective eyewear. But, unable to keep herself from missing out on the wonder, Marge looks up anyway, only to blind herself and incite the revelatory character arc of the episode. Meanwhile, Mad Men, which often referenced cultural cosmic events, like the first satellite image of Earth, featured the July 1963 solar eclipse in the Season 3 episode 723. In the episode, each character's reaction to the celestial reckoning reveals core aspects of their character. Betty must have her eyes shielded by Henry. Don, on the other hand, thinks he is above the rules of mere mortals, and looks directly into it with sunglasses while the others aren't watching. Who knows what the coming solar eclipse will inspire in 2017, a year of unprecedented events.